I think is so important about Jewish Voice for Peace is that it's crucial to raise a Jewish voice for justice and peace in Israel and Palestine. And I think it's part of our prophetic tradition. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of Jews in this country who stand with us and who believe that Jewish lives are precious and valuable, that Arab Muslim lives are precious and valuable. And that's what I love about JVP, is how I feel like we consistently reach for everyone's humanity. And that's the kind of world I'm trying to build.
We should call the truth as we see it, and the truth is that the Israeli government is oppressing the Palestinian people. We know this as Jews, and all Jews should speak out, and JVP has taken the lead in doing that. So I'm very proud of being part of that.
My mother is a Holocaust survivor. She grew up in Nazi Germany, and I grew up with a sense that I got from her, that when there is an injustice going on, you don't just let it go on. You get active, you work to stop it, you're active in the world, you know what's going on in the world, and when there's something wrong, you work to correct it.
I am part of this incredibly inspirational group because I believe that our Jewish Voice for Peace is expanding the community of people worldwide that passionately believe that a just peace is possible between Israelis and Palestinians. And our efforts, in concert with so many other people, is what's going to make it so.
Jews, Muslims, and Christians joined forces in San Francisco this afternoon to denounce the Israeli demolitions and the killings in Gaza. An interfaith coalition gathered at St. Boniface Church to demand restraint from Israel's government.
We, the Jewish people, who have been the victims of oppression and brutality, who know the pain of homelessness and eviction, dare not stand by while our nation acts in such gratuitously cruel manner toward other hapless victims.
The work that we're doing, it's intelligent, it's creative, it's courageous, it's compassionate. And that, all those qualities, is what's going to make it work.
Like Jewish Voice for Peace, we walk our talk. We're in it for the struggle, not just to make a statement. We actually are being strategic. We want to succeed where other groups have failed. It pains us to be attacked and to see attacks done in our name. And it's just, we have to stop them, not just speak against them.
It's been a joy to see the group grow tremendously, to become very strong, to become national, to be influencing other groups around the country, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, the Presbyterian Church, to be taking on huge corporations like Caterpillar. And it's just been so exciting to see that a small group really can make a big difference in how our government operates.
Sandy Hausman reports that Cat's under attack for selling bulldozers to a certain Middle East nation.
It's a familiar sound in the occupied territories, Israeli bulldozers clearing the rubble of Palestinian homes. In February, Israel said it would stop tearing down places where families of suspected terrorists live. But Liat Weingart, a leader of the U.S. group Jewish Voice for Peace, says homes are still being destroyed for minor code violations. The weapon of home destruction, she says, is a bulldozer made by Caterpillar.
They're not your mom and pop yellow bulldozers. They're monsters. They have a blade that's 13 feet tall. They can often be fitted with bulletproof windows, grenade launchers, machine guns. They can push 5 feet into a building in a single blow. And they have wheels that resemble tank wheels.
It's a very important issue for me to stand up and raise a Jewish
and in my case, Israeli voice against the Israeli government policies that are going on for so long, to my opinion, in a very wrong direction, both for Israel and for the Palestinians.
Being in the streets on the day after the war started with the JVP banner and our wonderful signs that have the wise sayings of traditional rabbis and others, and shouting out loud, "We're Jews and we're against the war." And I found that very freeing to be able to say that out loud.
There have been many meaningful experiences in JVP, but I'd say the moment when we, 60 of us and I, went into the Caterpillar dealership near here and told those Caterpillar executives that we understood that they couldn't possibly want for their work to result in people being crushed inside their homes. We know that Mr. Doyle and you also don't want your equipment to be used to violate human rights in this way. We know you couldn't possibly want people to be made homeless or people to be killed inside their homes using the equipment that you sell. So we're asking you to take specific concrete steps that we asked you to take in our letter. We asked that Mr. Doyle contact the congressperson from this area, who's Pete Stark. And we sang to them, and we shut down their operation for the afternoon. That was a particularly inspiring moment for me.
I think for myself, some of the most powerful things have been when I've actually been a speaker, and I realized that although I'm doing that in some ways then as an individual, it's because I've had the support of not just the organization, but the individuals of this organization that's enabled me to do that.
I think it brings together for me sort of lots of different parts of my, many of the different things I care about. So being Jewish, being American, being a mom, being a political person, being married to an Israeli, sort of all those things, you know, for all those various reasons, I feel like it's very important to be able to say, not in my name.
Jewish Voice for Peace, for me, is an ability to articulate in an active political way teachings, the core values that I hold dear, and why I call myself a Jew. This Jewish Voice for Peace has given me that kind of active expression.
I really feel as though I'm not against my own background and culture, but actually feel as though the culture and I are changing together.
One of the things that I really love about being in JVP is that it makes me feel connected to the Jewish tradition of social justice activism, and it makes me feel proud to be Jewish.
I have a feeling that we're at a turning point where the movement against the occupation of Palestine is going to grow by leaps and bounds, and that we're going to play a big role in that.
Just being in the presence of JVP members has changed my level of courage from just dreaming in my heart about being courageous to being courageous.
I feel really proud. I feel like this is where I belong. These are my people.